So often when we are out walking, or I'll speak for myself as a human on this planet, I'm an athlete. I want to learn how to use my body better and more efficiently, and whether I'm walking or jogging or bicycle training, I'm going for that most efficient cardio workout. But I recently have realized, partly just after this winter passed, that I enjoy something that I call slow walking. Something that's not new, but new to me. And what I notice is a lot of people do continually find themselves distracted, whether they want to be or not, either by our cell phones or television or YouTube or podcasts, and always looking for connection. And sometimes the hardest thing to do is to just slow down. So this particular video is specifically about slowing down. Now, I am in a quote-unquote safe environment, and so I feel no present danger. Things are peaceful. In fact, I'm going to pause right now and let you listen to the sounds of the birds. And as you can see, I'm in a mature growth forest. So there's lots of different varieties of trees that are at different stages of age. Some are new and some have passed, have broken and fallen, and become, as they break down and decompose, they become soil for the new seedlings. And then, of course, this lovely, almost a velvety, rich understory of ferns growing here. And I am going to slow down and take that extra moment to put my hands in the soil. Now, that's something that I wouldn't normally actually do, but because I'm called to just remember with grace and gratitude that we are all sharing, we're all inhabitants of this planet. And it's sometimes just the simple reaching out, which I'm going to do right now, and just actually put my hands on the soil, and I'm going to deliberately show you how amazingly rich, fibrous, it smells so great. It just has that lovely, lush, living soil smell. And let me show you how dark that soil is as well. It's incredibly rich. Incredibly rich. And so many animal species can live in that soil to break down leaf matter into edible food for lichens, moss, which further break down nutrients for plants like these ferns, other native plants that grow in these areas, extending up to saplings and even these incredible mature trees, are all surviving, as are we, on this earth. And our water comes from the soil that the water that we drink filters through healthy living soil. And when it's arable, where there's oxygen available, and I'm going to go ahead and thank the earth for letting me disturb us, part of it. And I'm going to walk through here with you for just a minute. And what I'm hearing is this incredible sound of birds. I'm seeing an old stump that has been taken over by this beautiful, beautiful moss, making way for new seedlings to come in. So you could see the seedlings from an elm tree, those winged seeds that fly like helicopters through the air, have landed there. And so at some point they may be eaten by birds or other chipmunks, other animals, or they might seed and put down roots. And even as we explore further this little tiny microcosm of this space, this vast space that I'm in, just this simple thing of allowing an old stump to go through its cycle of decomposition, which again is very slow, it's very, very time-centered. But the closer one looks, the more beauty and artistry you can see. And the diversity and the texture. These are things that we don't often think about when we are exercising out in the natural world. We usually have an end point in mind, a goal. What I'm seeing here are spider webs, and it looks like some small insect, I don't know what it is, up on the top that looks as if it might be pollinating. Who knows? I don't know enough about this particular moss species to know what it requires for its life. So I'm going to zoom back out again here, and we're going to just walk a little bit further on this slow walk. This is a slow walk. Now, if I wanted to catch up on my physical health, I can do that later. But this taking time, and again, I'm in a protected area. I do have bug spray on. I'm protected from mosquitoes and ticks, and I'm watching for poison ivy and making sure that I'm being safe in my outing. I'm saying that specifically because it's not as if you have to get out into the high mountains to experience what I'm experiencing now. This is a point that I'm literally 5 minutes from the nearest grocery store, for example. But I'm giving myself time to honor myself as a living being on this earth, and then thanking the earth for providing me with this time that I do have here, and honoring this space without rushing. What I know is that today it's going to get to be very hot. I will be in traffic at some point today. I'll be in my car and wondering why somebody cut me off in traffic, and I'll be wondering whether I'll make it to the appointments that I have on time, and meeting all my deadlines and all my commitments. So how long does this slow walk take? So far, just through the course of this video, it's been almost 12 minutes. And in that 12 minutes, I've noticed my heart rate slowing down. My breathing is improving, so it's not just up in the upper part of my shoulders, but it's down deep in the diaphragm of my stomach. I'm feeling my steps as I'm slowly connecting back with my physical body, not feeling so much like I'm just outside of myself. And I'm going to keep walking. So this is our slow walk. And what I'd like to do is to invite people to not only join me on videos like this, but I'd like to invite people to come with me for workshops in how to walk slowly, how to notice and observe the world around us without feeling as if we have to become super marathoners. Say hello to trees. And I have been that. I have raced. I've done marathons. I've climbed mountains. I have excelled in using my physical body. It's so funny to say that because I have done that my entire life. And it's so interesting to do the opposite. It's so interesting. It really is. And to be quite honest, I find it to be much more efficient. And much, much, much more efficient than I ever was before. Because I'm not rushing. I'm thinking more clearly. And I'm making less mistakes. And I used to work as a carpenter on a crew, and of course they had that adage, measure twice, cut once. And that's kind of what slow walking is for me, is just letting the stress go, allowing myself to think more clearly. I used to also take Tai Chi. Maybe Tai Chi set me up for slow walking, which was one of the first things that our teacher instructed us about, was how to learn to walk again. And by that he meant how to be present in our bodies, to pay attention to all of the movements of our body, to feel connected at the soles of our feet to the ground and the floor that we are walking on, to not be pushing so hard all the time. It's no wonder our bodies get confused about how to sleep and when to sleep, because we're pushing all of our hormones, our adrenals, using caffeine, alcohol, even sexual stimulus to keep us motivated, to keep us going, athleticism. We're just moving and working harder and harder to be that best human that we can be, and sometimes, in my experience, we forget just to turn around and see what we are really doing. What is it? What is the end goal? Sometimes there's a dissolution or dissolving of relationships and partnerships, friendships, breaking apart of families while we're rushing. I've done that myself. So we're just softly walking, coming to the end of this video. I want to encourage you, wherever you live, just to find, it doesn't have to be way up in the mountains somewhere that you're getting away. You can find these places in the most surprising areas. And if you're interested in knowing more about that, you can reach out to me. At asiascudder@gmail.com. And I am setting up workshops now in the New England area. So continue to follow these posts, and if you're interested in coming on a slow walk with me, email me and we'll schedule a private slow walk consultation. And there are some fees associated with that, but I'm happy to introduce you to the world of nature and how to bring yourself back into your own physical body. All right, be well, everyone.